What's going on, guys? It's your boy Dom Kemp, and today we're back here with another sports podcast. This time we are covering, as I told you guys, the NBA playoffs, round 1, round of 16, and we do have the Pacers and Cavaliers right here, guys. The Pacers actually beat the Cavs by a pretty large margin. I was actually surprised when I looked at this because the Cleveland Cavaliers, of course, have LeBron James, and I wasn't expecting the Pacers of all teams, to beat them in the first game, which I believe that Cleveland had home court advantage. Yes, they did, and they ended up losing by 18 points. So, guys, the final score in this one was Indiana 98, Cleveland Cavaliers 80. Let's actually break down the recap of the box score, looking at the fact right here that it looks like Victor Oladipo absolutely went off with 32 points. But let's start from the top, shall we? 31 minutes for Thaddeus Young, 3 for 4 from the field, 7 points in total. Wasn't that great in other areas, but he did have a little bit of offensive production. If we look at Bogdanovic, played 39 minutes, 5 for 17 from the field, 1 for 6, 4 for 4 from free throws, 6 rebounds, 3 steals, and a turnover, but 15 points, guys. So not the best shooting performance from Bogdanovic, but definitely an all-around game, all-around performance on the defensive end and rebounding categories. Miles Turner had 34 minutes, played 6 for 9 from the field, 1 for 2 from 3, and he had 8 rebounds and a block, as well as 16 points. So pretty productive from the Indiana Pacers center right there. Not bad at all. Moving on, we go down to Darren Collison. 31 minutes played, 2 for 9 from the field, 1 for 4 from 3, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, 2 turnovers, and 6 points. So an okay game from him, with the exception of the turnovers, but who doesn't turn the ball over in the NBA? Let's just be honest. Then finally, Victor Oladipo with a leading and commanding 37 minutes played, 11 for 19 from the field, 6 for 9 from three-point range. So he dropped 18 from three-point range, 4 for 8 from the free throw line, 50%, not the best. 6 rebounds though, 4 assists, 4 steals, 4 turnovers, but 32 points. So it all balances out pretty simply, if you ask me. Not bad. And we look at the highest scoring player on the bench was Lance Stevenson. 17 minutes played, 5 for 11 from the field, 1 for 4 from 3, 5 rebounds, 2 turnovers, and 12 points, guys. So not bad from Lance Stevenson. Coming off the bench as a sixth man, he's definitely very capable of doing that. He has most of his career. So moving on, we go down to the overall team stats for the Pacers. 36 for 79 from the field, 45.6%. 11 for 28 from three-point range, 39.3%. And 15 for 25 from the free throw line, 60%. Not bad at all, but it is something that I'm shocked. Let's see what the Cavs end up doing. So we look at the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the Cleveland Cavaliers in this game had LeBron James with 44 minutes played, 7 for 17 from the field, 0 for 4 from three-point range, 10 for 14 from the free throw line, 10 rebounds, 12 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, 24 points. He dropped a triple-double and they still lost. That's how you know he needs players around him to start working. And when you look at who the players around him started playing as, it wasn't the best. So let's actually look at Jeff Green. 27 minutes played, 0 for 7 from the field, 0 for 3 from three-point range, no free throws, 4 rebounds, and 0 points. That's not what you want to see in your power forward. I think LeBron was playing power forward, but if Jeff Green was playing power forward, that's a problem, really. 0 points in the entire game, 0 for 7. He shot the ball, but it just didn't go in the hoop in this game. Kevin Love moving on to the center position, 34 minutes played, 3 for 8 from the field, 3 for 6 from 3, 17 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, and 9 points, guys. He almost had a double-double in this game if he would have scored one more basket, whether it was a free throw or even a layup. Moving on to George Hill, the point guard. 19 minutes played, 3 for 7 from the field, 1 for 3 from three-point range. Pretty much got 7 points. Not the best from your point guard, especially your starting point guard in that sense. Rodney Hood, 21 minutes played, 4 for 8 from the field, 1 for 4 from 3, wasn't shooting the lights out today. He ended up having only 9 points, guys. So only person in the starting lineup who scored in double digits was LeBron James, 24 points. That is very, very disgraceful. That is disgraceful. You don't want an NBA team with LeBron James on, and he's the only player. He's the only player who scores in double digits in the starting lineup. Now off the bench, J.R. Smith played pretty crucial off the bench. Maybe he should have started. Hey, but he doesn't really play defense. He's better as a sixth man, let's just be honest. So, most points off the bench was J.R. Smith, 29 minutes, 6 for 11 from the field, 3 for 6 from three-point range, as well as 15 points in total. So, not bad. He was the team's second leading scorer for the Cleveland Cavaliers. And finally, we do look at the team stats for the Cavs. 30 for 78 from the field, 38.5%. My goodness gracious. From three-point range, man, they threw up 34 three-pointers and only converted on 8 of them. 8 for 34. Wow, that's amazing. 23.5% from the three-point line. And at the free throw line, it wasn't any better, with the exception of it being 60% than 23%. 60% from the free throw line for the Cleveland Cavaliers as a team. So that's pretty bad. And that all allocated into 80 points, guys. So pretty bad start for the Cavaliers, especially at home, with the fans booing and everything in the third quarter. So that's actually pretty sad, guys. In that sense, especially a LeBron James-led team. But other than that, guys, that is the end of this podcast. I will be coming back in a couple of minutes with another podcast, and that's going to be the Boston Celtics and Milwaukee Bucks in overtime. That game went to overtime, so it should be interesting, as well as later on, the Utah Jazz and Oklahoma City Thunder in Game 1. That is it. Thank you for listening, and I will talk to you guys later. Peace, guys.